community is a place where kids should go outside and have fun. I have learned because we noticed that people don't care about anything. Kids shouldn't have to stay in the house because people don't know how to act. I think we should do something to make people become alert to the kids' safety. I think that they should get accustomed to people not making good choices. I think that we should show people how to use Ubuntu in school so they can use it to the community. I noticed that we can't show Ubuntu to our community unless we do it here. I want to show that we as a class should let people know that if they work together, it would be a lot better than their safe, better for their safety.
We get the work time and we have fun. We gon' rock the LGs and get what we believe. G-E-N-I-U-S, G-E-N-I-U-S, Jesus. We so smart, we get our work done. We go to right till it's done. So get straight in. Our group so smart, we say on the tags, and we get our dog.
We are geniuses, we are police students. We don't let obstacles in our way.
We are so smart, we got our work done. We're gonna rock the ELGs until it's done. We ain't getting no tools, so get the clue.
We are geniuses, we are police students. We don't let obstacles in our way.
We get straight A, and we always say people out because we do our work. My group stay smart, and we stay on task. We get our work done, no matter how fast.
We are geniuses, we are police students. We don't let obstacles in our way. We are smart geniuses, we came to be the best. We are so smart, we're making a business.
G, always get our work done. We always have fun. We gonna rock the ELG until it's done.
G-E-N-I-U-S, Jesus. G-E-N-I-U-S, Jesus. We are geniuses, we are police students. We don't let obstacles in our way. G-E-N-I-U-S, Jesus. G-E-N-I-U-S, Jesus.
Principle of Ubuntu is we're only as good as all of us together. So I am who I am because of us, because of all of us. So I am who I am because of the children at Reed Park. I am who I am because of the teachers at Reed Park. I am who I am because of the families of the students at Reed Park. And I am who I am because of the community at
The UBUNTU Project, I Am Because We Are, really came out of my own experiences as a child growing up in the inner city of Boston, Massachusetts. Boston Strong, UBUNTU, means I am because I took that concept and brought it to the classroom.
A traveler through a country would stop at a village and he didn't have to ask for food or for water. Once he stops, the people give him food, entertain him. That is one aspect of Ubuntu.
My community is a good place, but at the same time, it's a bad place to live.
Community, Reed Park community is on the rise. Folks are meeting together, folks are making decisions. They are tired of hearing criticism or judgment, and I think that's a general statement across our nation. And it's a sense that we need to all come together. We need to value one another for the strengths that we bring, the talents that we bring, and stop focusing on the struggles, stop focusing on the negative.
A community to me is a home. Everybody lives in a community. We work in a community. Here are some examples of the communities. Ants live in a community and also people. Those were some examples of a community. A community to me is a place where people live, where they live as a family. A community is where people live in harmony. A community is where people work and live.
People stay compatible with each other and clean up their community. People in many communities start businesses to make money and throw parties for the community, celebrating good service in the community.
The question, therefore, is, are you going to do so in order to enable the community around you to be able to improve? These are the important things in life. And if one can do that, you have done something very important which will be appreciated.
Your words have power. So if you say it, your word is your what? Bond. Your word is your bond. If you say it, you gotta mean it. Okay? And that's everybody. So even if your hand's not up, I'm still gonna call on you. Okay? Everyone has to think of one thing that you can truly do. You can truly do. Activity, something that literally you can go home and do it right now. Okay? Like, I'll reference the Children's March. Yes.
I can do that right now.
But I'm saying, but you always stay out of trouble. So let's not even go there. Okay? But I'm saying, one thing that you could truly do, and remember, whatever you do has to help somebody else. It's not just about, because we're doing Ubuntu. It's not just about you. You are thinking about something that you can do to help the community. I'll wait. The question for you is this, and this is a serious one, so put your hand down. Although you're in the 5th grade, and although you're at a school again where we teachers have very high expectations for you, and you may not see that, you may see some of your fellow classmates not doing as they are to do. Can you name one thing that you personally can do to make sure that you're safe, or that you're giving a helping hand, or that you better your community?
Like, say if you live in where gunshots and all this other stuff happen, you can move away from it.
Exactly. But how can you help your mom move away? What can you do? There's something real simple that you can do.
Okay.
You get paid for a house, you're in a 5th grade.
Help her pay for it.
Or help her find a place. So you said, Mom, what's your range? Or Mom or Dad, what's your range?
They're going to say, mind your own business.
No, what's your range? They'll say, I want to help you. We're moving. I would like to help you find a place. So I'm going to look in the newspaper, or I'm going to look online in the classified ads. So what's your range? She may tell you, she may not. But at least you tried. Tayana.
A march to help stop violence.
I like that. A unity march.
Means if you're in a fight with your sibling, don't depart from your other half and later on cry in despair of what you have lost. Ubuntu means stick together throughout thick and thin. But can a family member pass, and can one cry alone? No. Ubuntu means if you cry, I cry. Can a class of black students use Ubuntu and share one heart? Just like rain that comes from the somber skies, we can all learn how to stick together. So many questions about this word Ubuntu. The only thing you need to know, this word is immoral, because I am because we are.
The students in my classroom, they're deemed that they tested very low and have been for the past 2 years in reading and writing. Here in Charlotte, North Carolina, or North Carolina period, we have the end of grade tests. They're ranked 1, 2, 3, and 4. Most of my students on average get 1s and 2s in reading and math.
Experiment to anger, our youth in danger. Fearmonger can't take it no longer. What's the problem? Plans to resolve them. You seem startled. Keep it bottle caps and syringes, broken hinges, off doors, bullets hit the floor right next to me. They weren't meant for me. Tragically notified. Next of kin cycles begin again. That's the real sin. Solutions evade innocent victims. Senseless situations. Deck of cards, no wealth. Crap shoot. Lucky 7, you get the boot. You've been used. Oh shoot. Know the rules. Incarceration. Same situation. Same game. They ain't playing since childhood. What you saying? Programmed this way. Understood little. Better this way. You can't say you didn't know. Yahweh rehearse. Scriptures to rehearse. No money in purse. 16 bars to verse. Story rehearsed. Chicks and jokes. Mothers hurt. Fathers hit with dope.
Normally when I walk into a classroom and I know that test scores are low, or there's perceived deficiency, meaning the children, they have IEPs or individual educational plans, I ask them, how many of you can master a video game, maybe one level in an hour? 100% of the hands go up, okay? How many of you can master it in under an hour? 100% of the hands go up. So if these children are mastering levels or complete video games in less than an hour, then there's no reason why they can't master concepts in school. Uriah?
That I can be smart and everything for big projects.
How?
By keeping up my grades and
How?
studying hard.
How? No, that's how everything. Right, exactly, because it's steps. Everything you say, boys, goes as a step to do it. How?
Learning, going on the computer and Google and stuff.
Okay. So you're doing, what do we call that word?
Research.
Nope.
Research.
It means self. It means
Self-direct. Google.
Wait, it means
All right,
that was my ear though.
Every day we're assigned to do our work from multiple teachers. Sometimes we are prospering when boys and girls work together as a team. We challenge to get the job done with the yes and no ma'am. Our work must be apparent so we all can get a special treat at the end of the day. The products in our work that we do is mind your own business. It's forbidden to talk while the music is on in our classroom. Good behavior is always a factor. I predict a rare fun if we all get our work done. Peace.
All right, Matt. Go ahead.
UBUNTU is a powerful word. It can make change in this crazy world. It comes from South America, Africa. If you practice it, you get it. We get an entrepreneur and so can you.
My goal is when I grow up to be the first black woman president / writer / poet.
I would like to earn my restaurant, but I don't want my restaurant to be as like bad. I want my restaurant to be kind of good. Like the food is good. The way that people serve my customers, and like it's just around them looks nice and clean. Like they could sit anywhere they want. And what I want, well, I always wanted my restaurant to have like TVs at every table that you could watch any TV show that you want, and it got a playroom for all the kids and arcades and stuff. And that's what I want. That's what I want my restaurant to be one day.
I want to be a nurse and a hairstylist because I like to help people and I care for people, and I care for people because so people can care for me, and I just like helping people. And the reason I want to be a hairstylist because I like to do hair, and I just like to make people pretty and just make them look nice.
I would have a t-shirt business that I'm currently making.
I want to be a brain surgeon.
A teacher or an archaeologist.
So in the classroom, classroom, what we're doing is I do not segmentize education. I don't believe in segmentizing education. I believe that everything should be intertwined. Everything is literally Ubuntu. Everything is interconnected. So we may be doing a math lesson. However, it will have elements of science, elements of literacy, definitely nonfiction writing, and the students will have to teach back. So I model the lesson. They get the idea. We will shoot up some ideas, and then they go for it.
I like science because you got to do experiments and projects. Did you know there is a rock cycle? A rock cycle is a changing one rock into another, and it keeps going. Did you know that a radiation is the transfer of heat through electron rays? Did you know that producers, consumers, and decomposers live in a community? Did you know that a sea breeze is a breeze that blows onto the land? Did you know that there are more than 5,000 habitats and environments? Did you know that science is every single place you go? Did you know that there are different simple machines? Everybody needs science to live their life. Science is really fun, and it's fun to study. I also know about force and motion. Force is a push or pull on an object. It is used almost every day. Science is really cool to know, and you should study it some more.
So it looks like you have 4 boxes. This way, let's move it this way. So you have 4. You may have writing on the back, that's okay, it's not gonna hurt. Like science on the back, you have 4 square. Now, so like I said, some of you have writing in the back, that's fine. You have to write over the writing. It's okay, you'll live. It's okay, you'll live, I promise you will. You can write over the writing. Then the next box is cipher session. The third box is math. And the fourth box is current event. What would you teach them? Okay? That's what you're going to tell me tonight. Many of you have many different ways you can teach someone about ecosystems. Okay? So you're going to come up with a 5-minute lesson about ecosystems. Okay? What is an ecosystem? Tanea?
It's non-living things and living things in the environment.
Non-living things and living things in the environment. Ecosystem, you step outside your door, you're in an ecosystem. So right now, our ecosystem, is it cold or is it hot?
Hot.
Hot. What do we see in our ecosystem right now? We see a whole bunch of
Inchworm.
inchworms, pollen, like sewage. Like last week, it smelled like webs. So we see a lot. Okay, what about in our neighborhoods? What type of ecosystem? You're shadow boxing with someone, right? You're throwing things. You're jumping around. Can't sit still. You're playing basketball, football, soccer, stick, whatever. You're always doing something that deals with force and motion. Okay? The only thing I think about force and motion right now is students who are not supposed to be Friday. Believe it or not, that's force and motion. But we don't want to focus on that. So fighting, do not focus on fighting when you talk about force and motion. Okay? That too, 5 minutes. Okay? How would you teach someone about force and motion? You can come with your own experiments, and you can bring experiments in. You can bring experiments to ecosystems. Matter of fact, you can bring in an ecosystem. Like, for instance, my brother and I, he started it first, but I thought it was the coolest thing. In our yard, we had like this big old how they figured out like new environment to watch that, and that's the ecosystem. I brought it in. My teacher almost flipped out, which was all good. Then she said, I don't want those ants here. So then I said, why do you like ants? She said, I don't like ants. They did it. So then, of course, you know me, swarming. And I got ladybugs. So then when I figured out the ladybugs, you have to punch holes on the top of a big old container. You know how you got like those little cheese ball thingamajiggers? Like a container like that. You would punch the holes on top, put a whole bunch of leaves and stuff inside, and then you start grabbing, the ladybugs would be on the back of a plant. You just grab the ladybug and put it inside. Now, they got smart enough and realized there are holes at the top, so you have to be careful you don't make them too big because they will escape. That's the ecosystem. And my brother said, hey, let's find some snakes. And I was like, he was on his own on that one. He brought one in the house. My mom said, I will put you out. Because he lost the house. He lost the snake in the house. Again, he lost the snake in the house. And I would never.
Hey, my name is Uriah Copeland. I know that science is used every day in life. It does not matter what you say, you're using science. Like you use science by eating, playing a game, going outside, cooking and breathing. There's a lot of other things too. There's a world full of science everywhere. When I look up in the sky, I see clouds. Clouds like cumulus clouds, cirrus clouds, and stratus clouds. Cumulus clouds are pretty fluffy, cirrus clouds are feathery shaped, and stratus clouds are layered. I see these beautiful clouds every day. It's really easy to tell what kind of cloud there is now. Here goes a little hint. Tell the world about what you just read.
That's Vanessa.
Where's Charlotte?
And bottom of the bottom, that's Jocelyn.
Look at ants in there too. They will eat that.
Where?
Awesome. Let me see this one.
Where's my Charlotte?
Where's Charlotte?
Science. What I know about science is that science is very important and that you have to make sure you study so you can get a good grade on your test. Also, you need to know your words because if you take a test and it asks you like what is ecosystem and what will it form to. Also, it is important for you to know science because when you get older, if you want to be a nurse or a doctor, then a nurse or a doctor, you will have to know science. So science is very important to know. And for science, you have to know the definition of the words, and the definitions are also important because you have to memorize it to know it. You can't be a lawyer or a doctor if you don't know science.
In addition, we have Common Core standards coming up, as transitioning from just basic objectives and state standards to Common Core standards. Most of the United States has signed on, but now teachers are like, okay, we went from one system of doing things, now what is this Common Core standards? And my belief the Common Core standards is allowing children to be them and to learn the way they learn. And it takes the teacher out of the teacher role, and the teacher becomes a facilitator, as well as the learner. They are overcoming so many odds, and sometimes it brings tears to my eyes because they come every single day want to learn and trying to prove to themselves and prove to other people that they're not what people think they are. And so currently, the children are in the process of publishing their own books. Most of the books are 50 pages or more. They all have started their own businesses. They write continuously. They are in groups continuously, and they have to teach back. And so when parents call me and they say, I didn't know about ecosystems, or I didn't know about money being an illusion, my child is teaching me this. And so they're learning everything in class: geometry, probability, statistics, graphing, data, fractions, percents, decimals, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. They're required to each day at least write 5, depending on the day, 5 to 10 word problems of their own. Each day they write their own stories. Each day they have to teach back to me and let me know what they know. And the only way that I know that is not through so much through testing, but they have to teach back and they have to not regurgitate, but tell me what they know, how they know it, and be able to explain to someone else.
I meant to say brush your teeth.
So it gotta be about the main idea.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go up to this part, like this part when he walked into the school and he got a bullying him around.
Okay, but you can make a story like, so it gotta be about the main idea. So your story can be about like there's some kids and something happened to their school. And they had to set up another school.
Say like everybody started bullying each other.
Yeah, and they messed up their school or something, so they had to do another school. But you gotta make it step by step. Tell them what they're saying.
What is your story? What's your
She can go and tell her friends and make them, first they gotta start off with like a good making them plans for the school.
So, paragraph. Yeah, paragraph, what? You don't understand what paragraph is?
Okay, kids that keep playing.
Right, yeah, right. Because I need to do mine. So what put in here?
4.
I need help. No, I don't.
C.
5. Now you said I don't play all you later. And that's when I said, then later, I'll be for 5 hours. Next day, I went to sleep. Last one tonight. And then last started being Shania and then singing. When Naya was asleep, I had to go home. So Naya woke up and I went back to bed. And that's when she started crying. No, that's my man of my story. This is the man of my story. You gotta have to make yours. This is my man of my story. It's about the pick out, but then they start looking at her when she think about crying at school and
right here.
The teacher survived.
No, it's not.
No, the teacher walked away. First, in the later, the title you got the thing, then you got the main idea. Right now, you got a title, introduction. You need to think of that, and once you got it in your head, all you can do is start writing what they're gonna do in scene 1, then you go to scene 2, and all the way up to scene 6. I gave everybody all my patience. And then next you go to scene. Could he use this big pen? So this thing, that big pen is not working. It's at an end.
What? Well, yeah, I have
Okay, let's read over it. Egypt. This leg better not come out. Egypt, stop talking. Miss Johnson said with the ferocious. I said it on it. You gotta make sure it's correct. Correct? What they gonna say? Ferocious with a ferocious. They don't make sense. What ferocious big That's not funny.
All right. You have about 10 seconds to get back to your desk. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Thank you to those of you who are ready and listening. We're not doing anything else. We're getting ready to pack up. I need you to listen. I'll wait. Someone's humming. Someone's talking in their breath. There's somebody's foot.
Want me to turn down the radio for you?
Okay, so you should be mostly done with your elements of a story. I didn't ask you that. If you're not whoever's coming, can you stop? You have until tomorrow to get your elements of the story done. So if it's not done, that's what you have for homework tonight. In addition to that, you must study your science vocabulary, the 10 words we did today. If you did not finish your math worksheet from this morning or your rewrite from this morning, that's also homework. So for the next 6 minutes, I'm going to allow you to write your homework inside of your agenda. Or, for my students, write it on the back of your to-do list. That to-do list should mostly be done by now. Okay? You have 6 minutes starting now. That means no one needs to talk or anything else except to write down their work. And please, yes. Yes. I'm going to start doing eeny, meeny, mo. I am. Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Alonso, students, you do not have to finish yours by tomorrow, but you should have at least the introduction and the rising action done. Okay? Yes. I'm signing agendas as well as checklists. So my students, I have both checklist and agenda. You have checklist or on the back. You wrote your assignments on the back. What I just said. You should at least circle at least 2. So you have 2 assignments from your checklist to do. Study your vocabulary, your science vocabulary for tomorrow, and finish your elements of a story. Your elements of a story is part of my students is part of your checklist. So you really don't need to write it down in your agenda because it's part of your checklist. I know, yeah. That's why he's over there.
Carter just went over there.
Excuse me. There's one teacher besides myself and the one who's filming.
So there's 2.
There's one teacher besides myself. Study science vocabulary. My students is also on there on your checklist. Can you not do that? Get in line. Thank you. This is not time for anyone to have sidebar conversations. This is the last time I'm going to warn you. So tomorrow morning when you come in, you are not going to come directly to me. You'll go right directly to right across the way. Excuse me. Can't lean on my computer. Thank you. If I ask you not to return tomorrow, you'll know why. Don't ask me, why can I come? You know because you're talking. If I signed off on your weekly to-do list, please stack up chairs quietly and pick up all scraps off the floor. The floor was clean before you got here. If there's anything on the floor, it's good. You made the mess.
Excuse me.
Here's your report card, though. A big aspect of the UBUNTU Project is the cipher session. And in the cipher session, the children are creating a rap, a song, a poem, a story about a concept. And they have to use their vocabulary. And this year they use Worldly Wise, that's their vocabulary, a book that they use, and they have to use their words. And so they have to put this, I give them 5 minutes. Some can freestyle, well, me, that is. We don't idle around, we do something, rather nothing. Employ different things that we do. Understand my name is Haru, the modern day Creole, the voice of the people. Access, freedom of permission to enter. Associate my mind, I will never descend. Boisterous, noisy, and uncontrolled, that is you every morning. I'm trying to get you to do something so it won't be boring. Brilliant, very bright and sparkling. Yes, understand the messages. Sparkling. Sparkling. Reminiscing, okay. Sparkling. Reminiscing over different things. 411, here we go, it's done. Under the sun, yes, I get it in when I need to do it without sin. I cast the first stone, I stay winning above the rest. You look at my chest, it's my sacred crest. It says, new put into him. It means I'm a sacred woman. I step into the door, understand 4 years ago, 14 years ago, to this day, I was a Neo, yep. I didn't play across the burning sands. Understand, I took different hands, different perspectives. Yes, I'm in my own band, grandstanding. Understand the lesson I associate with BST. There's no question, past decades, 10 years ago. Understand, I wasn't a griot, but now I am today. So I do what I do. My name is Haroon. Some can write, most students in my classroom can write a 5-paragraph essay in about 45 minutes. I don't know that many adults that can write a 5-paragraph essay on topic with very minimal inaccuracies in 45 minutes. So for them to write a song or rap is very simple and very easy.
Sit down, boy. You had your turn. Sit down, Jerome.
Sit down, okay, come on. Okay, sit down.
Y'all better dance right too. Okay, pass.
I'm trying to sing. We gotta do the same thing.
Now waiting. Okay. I'm waiting. Y'all better make a laugh.
Just be quiet.
You tell the teacher.
Stop it. Just be quiet, Brittany. We are just two lovers. Oh, yeah. We make the perfect family.
Are we good now? Alright, so how did it go outside? The improv from UBUNTU Project. You did well?
Good.
You went well?
Yes. You did good. It's just...
What happened?
He kept talking about
Did you practice? I gave you one yesterday.
I just told him to go.
I'm sorry, there's like 5 different people talking. I have 2 ears.
I just told him to go with the flow.
It's called improv, right? You know. Okay, look at me, Jalen. You don't know? Because it's getting ready to be put in stone. You don't know about improv acting. You do? 16. 15. You can sit there how you want. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7.
Jerome, come on. Let's come burn the mic.
I need to clip that.
Go burn the mic.
I'm waiting. Y'all be quiet. Everyone can write the mama call. No, that's what happened. I class past you. Don't try me. Time out in that corner.
Okay, come on, let her out.
We can't hear you. No, listen. We need to hear you. Like you have an audience. If you come from over in that corner. Okay, there you go. I'm in the Hall of Fame with Trinidad James. The beat is this. What word do you say? We are
love and romance.
We are love and romance. Okay, good. Okay, keep going. Those are online. Good job. Good job. Now we want to make it age appropriate. Okay, how can we use those words and make sure that we're using our worldly wise words? Okay, so you have to change up the words, say melody, make sure you're saying the words, and you're not singing from your nose. Okay, you're singing from here. So that's how you start. That's how you know you're singing. You have to do. Okay. All right. You good? All right. Sorry. All right. Let's go to the next one. Rising action. Did you guys do that?
Yeah. You twice.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You guys are totally different.
You should do your work. It might be hard, but try your best. Okay, yo, she had a good
That's the how it goes. Oh, this is how it goes. No reason. I will give you some chips right away. Listen now. Come here. They don't know. This is I'm the grandma. They don't know that. You gotta keep it secret. They don't know about the mystery.
Regardless of socioeconomic status, regardless of where you may live, regardless of how people see you, how the world perceives you, because 99% of all of my children in my classroom this year are African American. I don't have any children of other persuasions. I don't have any Caucasian children, any Asian children in my classroom. No Latino children. I do have one young lady who is half black and half Latino. But 99% of my class is all black. And so they know that they're stigmatized because of the area that they live in. They know that for some of them, they do not get that extra oomph. Some of their living situations are very, very, very fragile.
We were all slaves. I also know that we weren't the first people to be slaves. I also know that we were very smart, but they tried to make us dumb. I also know that Harriet Tubman helped free the slaves. Harriet Tubman did a good job at what she did. Harriet Tubman did something called the Underground Railroad. I also know that they took black people from Africa. I know lots about slavery and segregation. I know that they sprayed black people with water hoses and they had dogs biting on black people. I don't know why they had dogs biting on us, but they did. I also know that kids help free people too. I also know that slaves had tried to escape plenty of times, but sometimes it did not work. It failed. Sometimes they got away and sometimes
one day something like that. No, you better like didn't want to go to school. It's like being like you.
I have a question for you all. What would you have done if you was living during the civil rights movement?
Civil rights movement, not civil rights war.
Run away. Okay.
I want to fight it for civil. If I was in the civil rights movement, I would do the same thing they would do, throwing bottles and bombs. I would have tried to speak up for myself.
Okay. Same thing as you. I would have been Dr. Webb, can I say something? Yeah. Who can tell me what happened in that church? This for $10. Remember, it's the carrot.
Oh, no, I don't want this one, but I know it.
Good afternoon, class. Good afternoon. Right on. As you know, my name is Mr. EJ, and I'm here to present to you about Black history. And I call this history that's not in the textbooks. As Black history, I found out we learn a lot of Black history that isn't in the textbooks. So I like to do research and teach people about Black history that's not in the textbooks. So let's get started. First of all, by show of hands, who knows Dr. Carter G. Woodson? Anybody know this name? You do? What do you know about him? No, not him. I'm sorry, but you're talking about George Washington. This is called the Pan-African flag. It's also known as the Black Liberation flag, the Afro-American flag, or the Unio flag. You have red that stands for the blood, black, which stands for the color of our skin for black people, and green stands for the land of Africa, from where we all once upon a time came from.
Dr. Carter G. Woodson, they call him the father of Black History Month. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even have Black History Month. He wanted to show that we are important people and not just plain black people. He didn't go to school until he was 20 years old. He had earned a bachelor and master's degree. He went to Chicago University and Harvard. He became the second black American to get a PhD. Marcus Garvey, he was the one who invented the Afro-American flag. He wanted to show that we have a flag. African Americans have kept that flag for over 78 years to show that they have pride.
And so taking the concepts of the Common Core standards, taking life experiences, looking at their multiple intelligences, looking at what type of mode of learning. Some children are kinesthetic, some are auditory, some are visual. And taking that and making those strengths while they're also accumulating other skills. They're doing that, and that's what the UBUNTU Project is all about. And having the children tell you what they know.
Things that you can do with currency or things you can do with money.
Spending.
Yeah, but do we spend our money? What do we do with our money?
Saving.
Pause. Malik, what did you say?
Invest in our
I'm sorry, Malik. I didn't know your name was Malik. I thought it was Jalen.
Oh, we say,
Pause. I'm sorry, pause. Exactly. So when we invest, right, what's the whole purpose of investing?
So getting more money back for our business. Getting more money back.
Getting more money, yes. So when you invest in something, I'll wait. When we invest, right, we invest to make sure that our money is always working for us. That means money should not just be sitting somewhere like, in my pocket, I have money. What did I say about having money in your pocket? What does that mean? You're what?
You're broke. You're broke
because this money's not making me money. You see what I'm saying? I can put this dollar with something else and it can continuously work for me. That's what we want to talk about. Okay? So ways, things kids can do, things can do with money. Okay, but what are we going to talk about? Are we going to talk about what's going on? Like, what are we going to talk about?
Activate and connect.
Activate and connect. So we're going to have an activate and connect section. What do we activate, connect to what?
To your day of everyday life.
Brittany?
Because in your real life, like life, you got down. You're gonna be working. Like you get a job, you're gonna need to work for someone else because you're gonna have to get the job done quicker.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what else? What works?
I like his R's. Well, R's. Ours is just like this. Like, you don't know. It's like this. They're playing. Hey, so, these are dancing.
taking the essence of who they are and how they learn, and looking at 21st century technology. So they're making videos, they're doing music, they're doing a movie, but taking those aspects and using that for the good and applying it to their lives. Because at the end of the day, they have to take this with them. And I tell them I'm more of a facilitator than a teacher, but giving them and letting them know expectations are very high, extremely high. There's a certain level of expectations in the classroom, and I'm consistent, very consistent with that.
Did you know that trees connect to money because we use the bark to make paper? Did you know that animals connect to money because we buy animals to eat them? Did you know that water connects to money because we buy it and use it? Did you know that science connects to money? Did you know that wood connects to money because we buy it and use it to make things? Did you know that gold is like a rock and it connects to money because it is worth money? Money and science connect in three different ways.
Everybody getting something.
Yeah, because there is money making. Okay, so when they get to the back, they live their business and that's back. Students go back to school and share their experience with the rest of the class. Okay, resolution. We're going to be Mr. G. Already have you, Mr. G, remember?
No,
Yeah, I'm Mr. G. Yes, I'm Mr. Lappy.
You look like Mr. G.
Mr. G, Mr. Lappy. Okay, you ready? Write this word.
What's he doing?
Who are you? You yourself.
You want to thank people.
Well, my name is Mr. G. Leads students on a college tour. So that's where we go to Johnson. And he explains to students that in order to achieve personal growth and well-being, you need balance in your life. Mr. G, explain.
Something that you just normally go to.
I thought only thing you do is college, you can go to classes, but I see it's more than that.
I thought you'd just be walking around doing what you want to do, but instead you gotta go to classes too.
You thought you were just supposed to be walking around? What's the whole point of college is going to classes to learn more stuff?
Yep.
If I knew that you can walk around and go get your own food. I have all kind of food in my room.
I can't believe they had that. I thought they gonna have some cafeterias that just like our school. I was wrong.
Yep, I thought my mama was still gonna have to wake me up, but I said I gotta wake up myself. Well, my mama still gonna wake me up. I'm gonna tell her to call me because I can't wake up by myself.
I'm using alarm clock. Mine's gonna be so high. The whole dorm building's gonna be able to hear my
You can't none of that wake me up, so I gotta tell my mama to call me.
How if they can't wake you up, how your mama gonna wake you up when she call you?
And you can't even wake up to
I
answer
can
the
hear
cell
my phone, but I don't know why I can't hear the alarm.
You got
What's
some
the
serious
difference?
problems.
I think it'll be technology and science because I can also help my business be fun, not just work all the time, and just help. It could be fun and exciting, and they want to keep doing it, and that it can escalate through my life, and it could do a whole good for me.
I think I could read books about breast cancer and how I can stop breast cancer.
It is
in
important to
different
go to
kinds of ways.
college so that you can get a college degree and get a job. Or you can own your own business. Like, that's what we're learning in our classroom. We're not going to work for anybody. We are going to get our own money. And if we have employees, we have to pay them fairly and differently. Well, not differently, but the same. Depends on what they do, though. Can't be slacking off or anything like that. You won't get anything.
Getting a degree is going on to the next stage of making things more better around your life.
That's it. What's important about college is like getting an education and like finishing school and going to college, because that's the most important thing that could change your life.
Just like earlier today, a man said that education is key to the future. And my teacher always says that too. And many other things.
He's never too young to learn, and some fifth graders in our area prove it. WBTV's Melissa Hankins has the story.
This is not your average classroom. These are not your normal fifth graders. And Miss Tisha Warren? Well, she's anything but your typical teacher. While many students are winding down during their last week of school, at Reed Park Academy in West Charlotte, Miss Warren's class is gearing up for quite a productive summer.
Okay, you said 75 employees. You pay each employee $1,000. How much you need to have in your business bank account? Thank you. Good job.
Warren has been teaching her kids the basics of business and encouraging them to create their own.
Arellano's Crochet World.
That's the project Tayana Arellano has been working on.
I like to crochet.
And she hopes to start selling her pieces.
Well, I'm giving them the autonomy or self-direction to make that happen.
She's the first teacher I ever had that ever taught me how to do something by myself without having someone else to help me with it.
Now over the summer you have a task to do. And you have this business that you've created. You know your multiplication, you know your division, you know all your strategies, you know your literacy strategies. How are you going to apply that?
Egypt Leggett has her plan together.
My business is fashion.
She's going to help her clients add more pizzazz to their wardrobes.
Ruffles and sparkles.
Warren says above all, she wants to teach her students some independence.
It's okay to have, a couple of bucks in your pocket. You don't have to depend on mom or dad to get your clothes, or you can help out the family.
I see a lot of people saying that I don't have no money, and then it's going to mean a lot for me to have some money.
Nicer still, the sense of pride and power.
We are geniuses, we are police students. We don't let obstacles in our way.
We are so smart, we got our work done. We're gonna rock the ELDs until it's done. We ain't getting no tools, so get the clue.
We are geniuses, we are police students. We don't let obstacles in our way.
Stay smart and we stay on task. We get our work done, no matter how fast.
We are geniuses, we are police students. We don't let obstacles in our way.
We are smart geniuses, we came to be the best. We are so smart, we're making a business.
We always get our work done. We always have fun. We gonna rock the ELD until it's done.